So as we're moving on to step number 3 here, we're going to see that we're going to continue to code to make this realistic race game. One thing I did want to go back and check, and I did get to work, is the right click. Again, you have that weird offset to the right here and here. You can't click directly on it, but if you offset to the right, I just had it, there we go. You can do large readout, so that way we can put our distance right underneath there, as previously mentioned. But because of that clicking function was kind of an issue. So what we're going to be focusing on now for step 3 is time. So what we're going to want to do is create a new variable. Okay, again, being conscientious of what you call it, I'm going to use all lowercase. We're going to use time. So when we're looking at time, that's one of the things that we want to keep. So one of our things here is time. So again, I want to change that readout. So again, unfortunately, we have to be very careful with that. So we're going to put time right underneath time written, which is in the background. And what we want to do is we want it to actually start counting. So what we're going to do is set distance to 0, but we also want to set time to 0. So we're going to set both of those values to 0. And what we want to do is we want to start the clock, per se. So we want to say event and when receive, and then again that broadcast of start. And when we receive that broadcast of start, what we want to do is we actually want to do a forever loop. So we want to forever, and then we want to just wait a second, or a tenth of a second, really. We're going to wait a tenth of a second. And what we're going to do is we're going to change that value of time by that length in which we waited. So now we're going to actually count by a tenth. Again, a get variable you could change if you wanted to enter hundredth of a second or thousandths of a second, but in this case you should see the time start clicking through in what you do. So again, we're going to be looking at that, and you can see that the time will continue on, reset, won't start counting till after the gong, and you can see now that you are being timed as you run across the field, or the track here, as you can say. So again, like we always want to do, is make sure that we save, and that completes step 3.